Alrighty, Banter fam, happy Tuesday. Okay, a nice little start to the day so far. We do have a little bounce happening on Bitcoin. And what's also nice to see is there's a nice little bit of a red candle forming on the dominance, right? Therefore, we can start to see that alts will have a pretty strong bounce. Now, again, this is nice on a very, very short time period, right? What we are ready for now is any day now, we're about to begin the high time frame reversal. That's what we're looking for. We are basically fighting the bottom range. And all we're doing is we're zooming in, zooming in, zooming in to find that very critical bottom, right? And as you can see, we are yet again at a very, very, very important moving average. And all we are looking for within this week right now is a higher low. That's it, right? Because this whole big rally that started when Bitcoin was actually sitting between the late 40,000 and the 50,000s, right, was this little higher low signal over here. We can see there was a low, there was another low. Now what you can see a while later, you can see how we've come down for our first push, and now we are looking for a secondary higher low. From here, markets will start to rally up again and start moving. And again, in a couple of weeks to a couple of months from now, we'll very much be back at higher targets again. Okay, and this would have been a massive opportunity to take advantage of. But again, it was a big flush out. So today I want to speak short time frame, okay, about where this market's bouncing at this point and where does it really get going, right? There is a massive short squeeze on the rising. Okay, and that short squeeze is easily a 20-30% short squeeze within altcoins. Okay, and we want to make sure you do not miss it. Okay, the next thing as well is I want to explain to you guys that we have this big thing called the death cross, right? And it's quite crazy. The death cross has marked the last two bottoms. After this, we have seen a pump of up to 100% on Bitcoin. So what does that do yet again? The death cross is meant to be this bull market's over indicator, right? That's what it's meant to be. And it's crazy when everyone sees and thinks that it is now over, the bottom comes in, the market starts to rate up. So guys, day by day, we fight. Today, I got many altcoins to show you the ones that are breaking out, the ones that are showing strength the moment that the market starts printing green candles. Okay, we got to fight. Let's mark the damn bottom and let's start our recovery. So happy Tuesday to you all. No more wasting time. Let's find my damn intro video. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Brand channel, hit the subscribe button. Guys, how is your headset? Mine's sore, but it's good. I'm positive, right? I'm strong, but it's sore, man. It feels like I'm hungover. It's been like a couple of months of no greenness. Quite tough. You know, you have withdrawals. I feel like I'm like glitching out. As a bullish trader and someone that's bullish, I feel like I'm really glitching out, which means I must pay attention, right? This is the time to pay attention. Okay, so first thing, yesterday, guys, did you guys go chart your journeys, right? I spoke about charting your damn journeys, and I think it's so vital. I think it's a very, very, very vital thing to do. Let's see if I can find it over here of where I charted my entire journey. Okay, and what this does yet again, I just want to see if I can find it here. Where are you? There you are there. Okay, is it just keeps you on track, right? Remember, your whole journey to success is a journey, right? It's a whole roller coaster that's going to take you there. Okay, but again, as long as you got your commitment, your brain, and you keep staying focused and you never quit, you're gonna get there. Okay, but the question is always when we're trying to fight financial freedom or anything like that is how am I going to get there? Just follow the damn road. You'll get there. Okay, then you're going to look back and be like, damn, I had to go there. I had to get my ass whooped there, and then I had to win lots there, and all of these things had to happen, right? A lot of things had to happen on my journey to meet Run, to join Banter, to get to present, right? A lot of things, if I just try to figure it all out, okay, it's not possible. You kind of got to make the decision, and you kind of got to go with the road, right? And the road's going to take you down some tough routes. It's going to take you down some great routes. But as long as you stick on the road and you keep the conviction of where you're going to get there. And later on, you're going to see that had to happen for you to be a part of the journey. So yet again, you've gone through this little bit of a hard stage within the market. But I truly believe you've gotten better. I truly believe you've gotten smarter. I truly believe that this is going to play a big role when it comes to actually selling one day. Because if you don't go through the hard times, why will you ever sell? That's so easy, right? So easy, right? So these hard times are really going to strengthen you emotionally and also really get you to that very important decision point in your career when it is time to sell a bunch, when it is time to make big decisions. You're not really going to be so afraid of it. So again, guys, it's a journey, keep rolling. And again, I showed you here, I'm building more than ever. Okay, I got a lot on my plates at the moment, and I'm trying to do everything that I can, but I'm building. Right? I'm building more schools. I'm building more time. I'm doing what I can to keep improving. Why? Because I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so tired of self-sabotaging myself and losing a bunch of crap, you know, because again, I now know where I'm at in the chart. And as long as your chart is showing a damn bullish sign, now that's what you got to pay attention to, okay, as I drew this yesterday as well, is if you started your journey and you're now losing down over here, you are making a bull flag. Relax, okay? Your journey is going to start again. It's important to understand that. This is where you start again, start popping. But when you go up again, make sure you do it right this time. Make sure you make bull flags. Make sure you have it. Don't do this again. Okay, because now we've realized that this market is in so much uncharted damn territories, okay, that no one knows how crazy this market will be over the next couple of years. Okay, so now we are stuck with our tools, we're stuck with our conviction, and we're stuck with our damn knowledge. So keep improving, keep going, and let me know in the comments below, what does your chart look like? What pattern you make? I want to see. Okay. So let's go through a couple of things. First thing I want to quickly show you guys is where we're at this point. We have a death cross approaching on the weekly. Okay, and remember, we've got these golden crosses and these death crosses, right? Now, the golden crosses have always been very powerful. It basically shows that when we cross these two important moving averages, which is the 50 and the daily, the 50 and the 200 daily moving averages, it basically tracks momentum over time. And when these things cross, it usually means a big move, right? Specifically with the golden cross. You could see the golden crosses have been powerful. There was a golden cross, there was a golden cross, and there was a golden cross, right? And each time you basically saw the growth of Bitcoin, that amount, that amount, and that amount. So it's been very good, right? Then on the other side, you get things called a death cross, right? Now, death cross can also be quite scary. Okay, and it's quite interesting to see that here was a death cross, and that was a very accurate death cross. Once that death cross happened, you see price actually went down for a long period of time until we got the golden cross later on, right? So you can see these death crosses, they do come at certain points, but you've got to be very careful with the death cross, because a death cross basically gets a lot of fear within the markets, okay? And you've got to pay attention that, hey, this can also mark bottoms. And I want to show you guys that if you look at the previous times where here was a death cross over here as well, it was the bottom of the move. After that, we went bullish, right? This time it was correct, okay? And I want to show you how this is powerful, because there's one moving average that didn't break, and that's why we never recovered. And I'm going to show you guys that that moving average is the important one to pay attention to, right? But after that, we then went into bear. But then you could see this time over here. We zoom in here, there was a death cross. Okay, now a death cross is very powerful, and I want to show you this over here. When your RSIs are nice and high at the top, okay, but when they're at the bottom, it can be very much a trap. And I want to show you guys this over here. When this RSI was sitting here at the bottom, there's the RSI at the bottom, death cross happened. Everyone kind of spoke about, hey, this is the long term, because remember, this is going to bring up opinions now that there's no more bull at all. Okay, and you got to pay attention to that. Okay, it's going to get quite, and it's just showing again that everyone's quite negative about the markets all over, and people kind of lost hope, right? We can very much see that. Okay, but you can see soon after, literally a week or two after the death cross, we actually ended up exploding. Okay, and then we held the purple line. See that purple, the bright purple? And for as long as we hold the purple line, we rallied. Okay, then we got to the next point up over here. We had the death cross again. Price came down, death cross. Okay, literally 2, 3, 4 weeks later, massive rocket ship again. Okay, and this also shows when this RSI is at the bottom and you're getting these death crosses, okay, it's actually a big trap that's in play. Now, I want to show you this over here, that the next thing now that you can see here is we have now lost the moving averages. So what is very likely to happen now is we're approaching a death cross. Okay, and it's showing yet again, hey, the market is that bad right now when it comes to negativity, when it comes to sentiment, all these type of things. But also realize that the moment that you see where these moving averages are, it shows you the very big wall of where the bears are right now, right? Where they're kind of holding control of the market, because that's all that's happening is the bears are holding control. Bulls are trying to get through and they're not getting through, and therefore people are just losing faith, right? But the moment that we do get through it, for example, Bitcoin's back at 100,000 in 3 weeks, do you think anyone's going to not believe it again? They will believe it, right? Everyone will come flying back in, and it's this goldfish mentality, right? So what you can see is there is this big wall sitting in these late 80,000s, and that's why Bitcoin for the last 3 weeks have been struggling. After that, there's not much, right? And that's what you could see over here, that when we broke these levels, look how long Bitcoin sat under these walls here. Right, or it showed us the area here that it just couldn't get through. The moment it got through it, 100% move. And we've seen this now 3 times in a row of these 100% moves when it comes to these areas over here. So again, you're about to get negativity everywhere. You're about to get, oh, all of these things are happening. Pay attention that the moment we get through here, price will recover very quickly. RSI is sitting straight at the bottom. Okay, and it's crazy that a death cross is actually a bullish signal these days, specifically in an uptrend. The next thing I want to show you guys as well is you can see that we are nearly done in this sort of accumulation flag mode. Because if you look at what Bitcoin is currently doing on the weekly, it had a pump, okay, and now it's basically done this, right? This is actually known as a bullish flag, but this can take a little bit of time because this really shakes the market out, okay? But it's telling us that we are not far from this ending and the market to start trending again. And then what's going to happen is this took 6 months. This took 3 weeks, okay? 6 months of damage was gone in 3 weeks. Gone, finished, replaced, right? Why? Because in this time, it flushes everyone out and the big hands buy. Exchange of hands. The moment that all the bags are loaded, now it's time to rally the market up. And this is what brings retail in. Okay, so we're at that phase again. You can see that we have this important RSI here too. And it's basically telling us, you could see here that we are very close to a breakout. We start breaking out here, market starts getting ready to trend. So guys, we are not far. Treat this week like it's the bottom, because it can very much be the bottom. Treat the next week or two as the bottom, because the bottom is incoming. Pay attention. Now, the next thing as well to show you guys here, and shout out to the 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏 team for getting me some good information charts here, okay, is if you look here at the Bitcoin dominance chart, this thing is going to torpedo drop. I know I've been saying it for months. I get it. Cool. But when it does happen, you're going to be saying, oh, super sniper Sheldon. I'm telling you, right? Because, again, it's understanding that this token is overbought, right? Look at the RSI. Again, we are right at the top, okay? The next thing to pay attention to here, okay, is you can see that we actually have a very important trend line. I want to show you guys this over here, okay? So if you look at the RSI and you look at the previous cycle as well, there's the cycle. Before we started alt season, you could see that we actually, on the first dump that happened, we actually lost this trend on RSI. Now, the RSI is the leading indicator of the market, right? Stochastic RSI is lagging. Moving averages are lagging. These are all things that happen after data gets printed. Okay, but then you get the relative strength index, which is actually known as a leading indicator, something that helps you tell you that things are happening before they're happening, right? The actual sentiment. And you could see here that at this point here, let's just make this a bit bigger here, you could see that we lost on this drop here, we lost the trade. The RSI told us something that you didn't see. Okay, firstly, you saw the dominance go down. Then you saw it pump again. What you don't realize is we were on the other side of the line. Okay, so when this happened, it was telling you that, hey, it's fake. Again, pay attention that it's fake, that the secondary push here is fake. It's clearly it's clearly a fake out, or you know what you just want to see. And this retest over here started alt season. Now, if you fast forward, look at the amount of time this took, and look at the amount of time we have now taken over here. Very similar, right? Actually, very close and very similar over here. But the same thing happened. That little pump that we saw in November was not for nothing. I know it sucks that it got pulled back. I get it, but it was not for nothing. Firstly, I gave you a little, you know, when they come to the restaurant and they give you a small little taste of the food, right? And you're hungry, you're like starving, right? And this little taste, and it tastes so damn good, right? That's what it was. It was this little starter, right, that you were given. Now, if you look at this over here, that starter that came over there was not nothing. That drop we saw in the dominance, we saw altcoins pump in 2 weeks that we haven't seen them pump for a long time. And you know what? It tripled my show in views. That's how much people came flying in from that little drop over there. We're on the other side of the trend yet again. Okay, we are sitting on the other side again, telling you that this whole little secondary push that we've seen in this dominance is fake. Okay, and this thing is getting back to the same levels of where we were on the other side of the line. It's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Remember, I even put my damn reputation on the line. Let me show you here. Let me show you. I even pinned it. Okay. Which I don't know if it was the smartest thing in the world. I might have to end my career because of it, but it is what it is, right? I have conviction. I love what I do. Okay. And conviction is the only reason I go where I am today. If there's no else in the next 6 months, I'll quit YouTube forever. It's been 2 months now. I got 4 more months. 4 more months, guys, of Sheldon being here with you. Okay. And I might either be right or wrong, but at any point, it is going to be right. I know it's going to be right. Right, I know very much that this market is very much in our favor, and there's still an alt rally to come. So that is still my plan on the alt. So again, know that your damn epic altcoin bounce is going to happen, okay, on your altcoins. Again, if you look at altcoins, look what MA it's holding. Okay, look with what's trend line it's holding. See this bottom trend here from the bottom. Altcoins are still bullish. I know it's been hard. Look what the RSI is. Okay, there's a big time frame moving coming. And again, it's probably going to happen so quick and be back at these areas very fast and catch a lot of the market off guard. Okay, now let's jump in and zoom into small time frames. Guys, what we got to see here on Bitcoin now is we know very much. Going back to the moving averages here, we know that this big important moving averages over here, the 50 and the 200, okay, is highlighting 88,000 as the big resistance. Okay, so on a high time frame, you have two very, very, very big indicators that are highlighting 88,000. Zooming in, okay, we zoom in over here. You could also see that there is this trend line. Okay, and it's on the 4-hour now. Okay, this trend line is an important one now because it's also highlighting that there's a break of 86. That's the first MA. The second one is 88,000, and then we're back to the races, right? So what we're looking for now, guys, is a higher low. That's what we want to see. Okay, a higher low. We need a higher low, very similar to this stage over here, where it started off with a higher low. Okay, the market also just dropped. Guys, anyone that has been fighting this market, we went through this last year. Same market we are in today. Same market we went through 6 months of it last year. This is Bitcoin here, but it started off with a higher low. You see here, lower lows, higher low. Brrr, rocket ships, right? Same thing over here now. We are looking for the higher low. So far, we've bounced in the perfect zone we want to bounce. What we want to see next is a break of this trend. We break this trend, then the big zone is 89,000. After that, guys, we're back in the 100,000s. Market starts trending, excitement comes back, and the weekly RSIs, everything starts tracking up again. Okay, so your opportunities right now, that's what I said to you guys yesterday as well. Pay attention to a nice little ETH long. Got a nice little ETH long. If this thing comes back into the box, got a trade here for you guys. ETH comes back here into this 1,840 to 1,870. You could see, let me move it there. You could see it. Okay. You see the risk to reward. That your stop loss will go under this low, but you can see a little inverse head and shoulders. I'm looking at a pop to 2,000, 2,100. Okay. But I also want to show you guys here is on ETH itself. So we got that trade now. You guys can go pause it and go see it again in the video. Okay. That is where things really get interesting. And if we have a double bottom here, they'll be good on ETH. So remember, this is forming bullish patterns, guys. I know it seems like it's dropping down, bullish patterns over here, and this can be reversed very quickly back to these areas. And that's what I'm busy building. I'm busy building trades for those over here. Surviving, it's been crazy. Yes, here's Solana. Sol dropped down to 618. There's Sol looking over here, and start pushing up. Okay, so everything is forming these bullish patterns here. Same thing, Cardano, we start rallying up. That's where things really get interesting. So I think there's a lot of spot entries right now in these zones. Okay, 𝗬𝗎 looks very good as well. Very good entry over there. XRP as well, breaking the short-term trend. Let me just draw that again. There's the short-term trend. Okay, and where the rally trend, big trends break over here. Guys, leverage traders, you can wait till the big trends break. If you want to start small amounts, sure. I'm busy buying leverages here. I take haircuts when the markets pull back, yes, but I always get entries and I build up again. Okay, so I'm personally entering a lot of longs. I'm in the ETH long. ETH is a big one that I'm busy building at this point. There's NEAR. NEAR's only just breaking trend now. Okay, there's DOGE. DOGE popped through. Do you see this stop loss B1, B2? Something cool coming. 𝗙𝗍𝗱𝗏 is finally going to help you trade. Finally, and it's going to be automated, and it's going to be your own damn indicator that's going to do it all for you, give you all my analysis, one indicator. That's very cool. I told you we're building hot. Here's a double bottom on 𝗍𝗍 at this point over here. So again, to be super conservative, wait for the big trends. Okay, if you want to start some trades now, start them off in these little areas, and remember that we got to get through these resistances. These could be good short-term TP points. Okay, but that's where things really get interesting. What we want to see now is this market to start rallying up. I want to go here to Bitcoin again. Two scenarios. We rally up. Let's say we slow down again. So it means another couple of days. Okay, then we pop. But any point now, we pop. We've got a couple of news events coming out this week as well. Okay, and I actually want to see here on a couple of bullish tweets here. BlackRock, every bond, every asset will be tokenized. Oof, massive for crypto. Took control of the crypto firm Liberty, now entitled to 75% of 500 token revenue. Wow, okay. It's crazy how there's all this news and we're just waiting for the markets to pump. It's because they're buying it all. That's why it's taking forever. And that's my opinion. Okay. Bitcoin whales up to 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin and hit the 4-month high, rising 2.6% in 5 months. Renewed confidence. Okay, amazing. Okay, guys. So lots of love to you all. Remember to join 𝗙𝗍𝗱𝗏 Club. Tomorrow I'm doing a live session on 𝗙𝗍𝗱𝗏 Club. Join me there. And remember, for those who are part of school, join me on the session today. Love you lots. See you tomorrow. Stay motivated, stay hydrated, stay strong. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Much love. Bye-bye.